Hello, everyone. Welcome to this brand new edition of 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host Albert Cita. Got a lot to talk about this week. Want to thank you all for tuning in. We got AEW Blood and Guts recaps, reactions, Dave Meltzer-esque 5-star ratings we got here. We're going to talk about Daniel Bryan, a free agent. Is he just playing everybody, or is he going to stay where he's at, or where is he going to go? So much speculation to talk about that. Also got our preview UFC 262 or 261. Oh, well, whatever pay-per-view is coming next.
Wherever we're at.
And also we're going to take a look at WWE's WrestleMania Backlash / WrestleMania 2021 2.0, because it's a lot of the same matches that we saw in WrestleMania and the weeks of Raw and SmackDown, again, just with different banner underneath it. So we'll talk about that and the booking issues with WWE. But before we get started, Albert, how's it going, man?
It's going good. It's Mother's Day weekend, so shout out to all the mamas out there.
Yep.
Big shout out to my mama. So yeah, other than that, I'm doing good, man.
Without her, we would not be here right now, would we?
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully, everybody, all the mothers that watch the show, thank you very much.
And I know there's a couple, mine being one of them.
Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do. We're not going to touch upon the UFC Fight Night Car that just happened. Cowboy Cerrone getting stopped again, but we could spend a little bit on it right now before it's an official round. Cowboy got stopped, I think, in the first round. He says it's not his last fight.
It's tough. It really is. It's hard to not give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And
it's also hard as a fan to watch a legend get to the he's not the Cowboy we know. And I get it. He's saying 155 is a better fit for him, and he did have a good amount of success at 155, and there is bigger guys at welterweight, so he makes a good case for himself, saying look, maybe I'm just been in the wrong weight class the whole time. And it makes sense too. He was supposed to just fight Diego Sanchez in that weight. I don't think he really legit thought he was going to go for a title run at 170. It's just, they're just too much. Once you get up to the upper tier of the welterweights, they're just too
bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he legit did 170 for Diego. And I think he really does think that he fights best at 155. And I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because at the end of the day, he's the one that's in the gym. He's the one that's doing the sparring session. Who knows? Maybe he's having a killer training camp, and it really is 170 that made him look like that.
And then, also, Albert and I, we have a recreational sports background.
Yep.
We see how they divide it, right? There's the youth leagues, and then there's the senior leagues, right?
Exactly.
For these guys who are still kind of maybe, Donald Sterling, he's probably in better shape than 90% of the country anyways.
Yeah.
And he could fight and beat 90% of the country anyways.
Yeah.
But 90% of the country isn't fighting, right?
Yeah.
So for those elite athletes in the UFC, once that time passes you, man,
And you know what I've been noticing too? It's crazy that there's still a lot of fight in a lot of fighters that are past their prime. And that's why we talked about it before, about that having an actual MMA senior league.
Yeah.
Because they're still fighting these guys. I mean, they're still fighting Mike Tyson. And they just can't compete with the prime of today. 18 to,
to 30, 30-year-olds.
Which is perfectly reasonable. I mean, I don't think anybody is crazy enough to say that some of these older guys can compete with some of the guys in their prime. But at the same time, they still got some fight in them. They can still put it on. Chuck Liddell is the only guy I can think of that maybe should stay out just because of the horrible finishes he has.
Yeah.
But there's guys out there that haven't got finished that bad and still have fight in them. I mean, Mike Tyson never technically got battered more than once. So why not?
Yeah, and especially if there's money to be made. And we see now that with the progression of personal health and fitness, people are staying in shape a lot longer than they used to before.
Let me throw a matchup at you. If they were to book Cowboy Cerrone versus Anderson Silva at 170, you tell me that doesn't excite you? You wouldn't want to watch that?
Yeah, or a 170 catch weight.
Yeah.
who says we got to follow all these rules and the commissions? Find a random state that's going to, pass both these people, probably Nevada, make it a 180, catch weight bout. And there you go. That's a fight on a main event, or on a main card, pay-per-view worthy. Whatever. I mean, maybe Scott Coker had it right when he had Fedor versus Frank Mir and all these guys,
I think he did too.
When you keep it age and miles, both these guys are a certain age, both of them are certain miles. They're not hurting each other, really.
In all honesty, I still want to see Michael Bisping versus Anderson Silva run it back.
I like it. So let's go ahead and get started with round number 1 here. AEW special Wednesday night Dynamite Blood and Guts timer started here. We're not going to focus on the rest of the card because that was pre-taped, and I think they just kind of put it together just to have a 2-hour event anyways. Yeah. And nothing was really really moved the needle from what I thought. So whatever on that. Main event, Blood and Guts, Pinnacle, the Pinnacle. Is it Pinnacle or the Pinnacle?
To be honest, I don't know.
I think the Pinnacle. And is it Inner Circle or is it the Inner Circle?
Oh, right here. Yeah, it's Inner Circle and the Pinnacle.
Okay. The Pinnacle. Makes a difference. War game style match. Lots of blood. Maybe blood just for blood's sake. Not sometimes. But overall, I thought the wrestlers worked their asses off. It was a great, entertaining match. Everybody on there is super talented. What killed it for me,
I think killed it for everybody.
Absolutely killed it for me, was the production value and the camera work, the direction, the shot selection, audio wise. Even the commentary team fell super flat on this. I think it's time after this to get rid of Shivani and Jim Ross because Jim Ross doesn't have the passion anymore. What happened to that?
Oh God!
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's just going through the motions, getting a paycheck. Good for him, but. For me, that ending where MJF threw Jericho, you have time to run it through. We both have a background in production. You run it through. You go what angles.
That's the first thing I even thought. And I know. I kind of already know your answer, but I know for a fact that Cody Rhodes is in the back, and he has.
Oh, that explains everything. Okay, so now we know why it's horrible because it was bloody.
I knew he was going to go there.
Cody Rhodes' fault,
but.
That's what we need to say.
You have guys that know what's supposed to look good in the back. So I don't blame production too much because there should be some direction in the back. And you've seen the footage where you see Cody Rhodes and Tony sitting down, and they see the multi-screen and they have headphones on. So obviously they can direct and they can tell production something. And the fact that they didn't go over that finish is so annoying because it was almost a cinematic moment that they could have done. The whole Joker Batman thing where he's holding them.
They could have held it longer.
Yeah.
Be more suspenseful, right?
I'm not going to let him go. I'm not letting go. Everyone thinks okay. Everyone came to their senses and then lets them go.
You don't even know. It took me forever to realize it was Sammy Guevara who said, yeah, we surrender or we give up because the camera wasn't even on him. Where's that close up of Sammy Guevara? That worried look on his face.
That should have been all talked about in the back, whatever. And then on top of that, as soon as he falls, why did they keep cutting to Chris Jericho if he wasn't doing a good reaction? I think you can forgive when you do a first take and then it kind of doesn't look that well. Okay, camera off. But why do you go back to it if
I'm pretty sure I saw
not selling it?
Chris Jericho do one of these peek, see what's going on, and then go back, close his eyes again.
Instead of telling, cutting shots to the inner circle of them reacting to Chris Jericho.
Crowd shots.
Yeah.
And granted, you have crowds in attendance.
Yeah.
Focus on the ones.
What happened to the good old fashioned, fan? Oh my God, shot.
So I didn't know Cody Rhodes has that big of a role in the backstage. So it makes perfect sense to me now why it was horrible. Because if it's his idea, he's probably self-sabotaging the AEW to make himself look good.
I knew you were.
I guarantee you, when he was on the bus a couple weeks ago, let's get that shot right there so I look really good like an idiot flexing with my stupid neck tattoo and all my bust that nobody cares about. Make sure I look good. But if he's doing this stuff it really took away from the effort of all the wrestlers. I mean, look at FTR. Look at they're completely blading themselves for what?
Yeah, and this is coming from a big AEW fan. We went to the first ever Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
I've been watching the Young Bucks since their EWF days. I mean, I'm a huge. you guys seen how I react to Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So this is coming from a true fan.
You don't have any WWE figures around here.
Exactly. What you saw in Blood and Guts shows you why AEW is not in the same playing field as WWE yet. Production value is everything when you get to the cream of the crop. I'm talking about the NFL, the NBA, UFC. When you see a UFC production and then you see a Bellator production, you see why UFC is the company. Production means everything when you get to these top tiers, and you can't forgive that no more. If it's the NFL, I'm not forgiving the production. I'm not. Yeah, the athletes are going to bring it because they're the top of everything. AEW has phenomenal athletes. I'm talking about production, and you can't forgive that. When we see mistakes in UFC, how mad do we get? Because we expect a certain production when you get to a certain tier, and I think this was a perfect example. AEW is not even close to WWE yet
in terms of production.
And once they clean up their production stuff, then they can really compete. But they got serious production issues.
Yeah, I think they're 0 for 2 now with this one, and then the barbed wire exploding match.
But yeah, with
that was pretty bad
the
production, right?
End,
so I think maybe until you can get that stuff ironed out, man, you gotta maybe just hold back on these spectacular type events.
Hey, but hell of a match though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Honestly, we can go back and see all the production mishaps that WWE did back in the day, too. But I mean, like, can you imagine if like.
But you're in a different level now.
The Buried Alive match, and you see just like a just shot of like the Undertaker.
Imagine overhead shot of Undertaker already in the grave.
Yeah.
Imagine what he's doing down there.
He's just like looking or like you see him use his escape hatch. Like, dude, come on, man. Or like, yeah.
Well, even when Mankind got thrown over the Hell in a Cell, the angles that were reshot, JR's reaction alone is what scared the audience.
Mm.
Well,
even like Jerry Lawler too. Oh my God, he's dead.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So there's a lot of production stuff that they need. To clean up.
But again, nothing. But the performers,
yeah,
excellent production value. If it is honestly, now that you told me that if Cody Rhodes has some kind of responsibility back there, I totally believe it because that's why it's horrible.
I mean, I don't know anybody from AEW, but from all the behind the scene footage, he's back there and he's surrounded by the multi-screen. So
makes total sense. That's it for round number 1. We're gonna stick with professional wrestling and talk about maybe the return of the American Dragon.
What?
Daniel Bryan.
Either way, you're right.
That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 2. It's true. Yes. Daniel Bryan is officially a free agent.
Is he?
And free agent like no complete. He has no complete cause. He can go wherever he wants. So a couple weeks ago, this is about former WWE champion Daniel Bryan is no longer under contract with WWE. He had that angle a couple weeks ago with Roman Reigns where he challenged for the title. If he didn't win, he was forced off SmackDown. That was the stipulation. Not be done with WWE, just forced off SmackDown. He lost to Roman Reigns clean. They even did a double assurance. You're getting the hell out of here. They concertoed him with the chair. To give
no
more
one comes back from a concerto.
Exactly, give him more heat on Roman Reigns. So it came out after that hey, he's a free agent. Contract quietly ended. He's free to go wherever he wants. Like no 90-day at all. People are saying he's gonna come back to WWE. Mm-hmm. But there's always the internet wrestling community, man. There's always a chance. This is where you cue in Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yep.
Thoughts on this? Is he going anywhere?
All right. The honest,
what is he doing? He's always want to have a part-time schedule.
Yeah.
He wants to be a producer. Wants to have.
In the honest truth, I think he's staying with WWE just because I'm putting on my family hat on, and if I am the provider and I care about being there with my children, WWE seems like a safer bet. Mm-hmm. The money's probably going to be guaranteed. He's going to have a lighter schedule. He's going to have that producer role. He's going to spend time more with his family. But now I'm going to take off my family hat and I'm put my fan hat on. And as a fan, I want to see some premium last Daniel Bryan matches. And this is just me being selfish. I will salivate if I get Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega. And I will.
Which we've seen before, but not now. Not with what they know now, right?
Yeah, but Kenny's making on this epic run, I wouldn't even be mad if Daniel Bryan comes and steals the thunder from Kenny Omega, wins. Not only does he win the AEW belt, he wins the TNA belt, and he whatever belt Kenny has, Daniel Bryan just takes it away, and now he's the one running with it. I wouldn't even be mad at that.
Captain Planet for real, right?
But that's just me being selfish. If I was a betting man, I think he stays with WWE. As a fan, I wish he would just go the independent route. I don't even want him to sign with AEW. I just want him
go wherever he wants. Boom.
Legit, I think he's in a position where he can say, AEW, I'm wrestling the next pay-per-view. All right. Impact, I'm coming down on what are they on? Thursdays or Wednesdays?
Thursdays.
I'm coming down on Thursday. Come on down. Ring of Honor, what's your next event? I'll be there. Yeah. New Japan, book my flight. I'll be there next month. And I bet you all these promotions will say yes, because you're dumb if you don't say yes, because that's nothing but money right there. And he can call his shots. He can literally travel as much as he wants, as less as he wants. He can legit show up for one show. The pay-per-view's in 2 months. That's perfectly fine. They just keep showing that loop of him showing up.
A Brock Lesnar type of schedule.
Yep, and it will work. So it works either way. But if I was a betting man, I think he's staying with WWE.
Yeah, I think to your point about him, I think he has 2 daughters now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know about his health issues in the past, though he is cleared. I don't want to see him going, butting his head in a ring post like he did in Ring of Honor anymore, or going that hard against on these other promotions. I still think he's going to stay in WWE, especially that producer role. If he goes to AEW, he's just going to be a performer. Yeah, he'll maybe be like a mentor and have a couple, maybe have his input here. But as far as character development, storylines, I think he probably one of the smartest guys we've ever seen in the business, and he could probably have that influence there. It's a cushy career. You know what I mean? And also wrestle every once in a while if you want to, come part-time. So I think it does make sense for WWE. Like, why? Do you remember when before he signed with WWE?
Yeah.
And they kept asking him, like, dude, like, everybody from Ring of Honor that goes to Impact, or TNA at the time, like Samoa Joe's there. Why aren't you, you can go to TNA? Yeah, and he straight up said, why would I go to TNA? Why would I go to the TNA? WWE's always been my goal.
Yeah.
And what happened? He went there straight to and obviously took over the whole world. Mm. So why would he go to AEW? Why would he go back to Ring of Honor? Unless for those spot things, I think.
That's what I was gonna say. Just for the stamp, you never I think the worst thing any high tier athlete can feel is that they didn't let it all out there. You know what I'm saying? They had something still left. And they walked off, and they're like, you know what?
I don't know, man.
I had a little bit left. I should have just gave it. Because I know for a fact.
But then you also don't want to end up Michael Jordan on the Wizards.
Yeah, but come on now. Daniel Bryan can easily give 5-star matches for 2 more years before I think we could be like, okay, I think he's going to start. The way his style is, he needs to start either switching it up, or it won't be a Daniel Bryan match anymore. Quick thing too. So you're telling me you don't miss the Desmond Wolfe and Daniel Bryan headbutts to each other?
I do miss it. Or Nigel McGuinness back in that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nigel McGuinness. And then the second thing is just because I like to reminisce sometime, and the Young Bucks actually wrote it in their book. We were there when it was the Young Bucks versus Daniel Bryan and Roderick Strong. I am
at PWG.
I'm a huge wrestling fan. I have never in my life been more scared in my life at a wrestling event. That match scared the living. At one point, it was the safest place to be was inside the ring for fans. I'm talking about fans, not even the wrestlers. It was safer for us to
they tore that place apart
to get on the ring because they were tearing it up, and I felt for the Young Bucks. There is no way you get me in the ring with Daniel Bryan and Roderick Strong like that.
Yeah, they tore that VF Hall in Reseda down. Like, they tore the piece.
Dude, I think I was on a 2-week high after that because, man, I have never, ever seen something like that in my life.
Yeah, those are the good old days, man. I think he's staying. He's just probably just chilling, probably, making WWE. If Edge could get a huge contract from WWE by just pretending that he got a deal from AEW, who actually contributes something good to the backstage character development and not trying to get himself over like Edge is trying to do. And thank God I'm seeing Edge on television.
But at the same time, you got to think of Vince's state of mind. Does he think Daniel Bryan can sell?
I think he's past that now. It's like, what else can he contribute to the on-screen of the product? Like, can he contribute good things, Is he pitching good ideas?
Don't underestimate Vince's ignorance.
We've seen that for like 40 years now almost. All right, that's it for round number 2. We're going to switch gears, talk about some MMA. We'll give you guys an update on the Bellator Light Heavyweight Grand Prix. Got some more winners this past weekend, so don't go anywhere. We'll talk about that coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 3. We're switching gears, talking about some MMA here. More specifically, Bellator MMA. The World Light Heavyweight Grand Prix tournament is continuing onward. This past weekend, we saw another bout here where Anthony Rumble. It was supposed to be Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Yoel Romero this past weekend, but Romero
I was so hyped for
that was
match,
the only match
bro.
I was like, oh, this is like I want to see, but Romero was having medical issues or couldn't bat.
Something about his eye.
Something about his eye. Yeah. So, but Rumble, dude, for as big as I've seen this guy be, like 260 almost, going down to 205, he looks like a beast, man.
Slim Savage, bro.
Oh my gosh, he was disappointed in his performance.
Chiseled. That guy was chiseled.
So he did win by knockout. He was disappointed because he got knocked down in the first round.
Yeah, he got caught. But it's crazy because he got caught because he had the other guy hurt, and he kind of he was trying to pick his shots, and he got caught.
Yeah,
he got cocky and he got caught. But take away that incident, he
looked good.
Dude, he looked super good. Again, but the big question with Rumble Johnson is wrestling.
Or stamina, right? Yeah.
And stamina too. But mostly I think wrestling. That's where I think he struggles the most. And I honestly think he has a legit chance against the champion coming up. Just because even though he is known for his grappling, I feel like he's going to try to strike with Rampage. And it only takes one shot from Rampage. So
Rumble.
Yeah. So I can't believe I keep saying Rampage. From Rumble. So I think Rumble makes it to the final against Ryan Bader.
So yeah, we're in the semifinals now. We got Ryan Bader versus Corey Anderson. We got Nemkov versus Rumble. I mean, our boy Machida didn't come through. But Bader just kind of slept for 5 rounds.
Even though I think they need to run that back, bro. I think they need to run that back.
So we got potentially 3 UFC guys, and then Nemkov, who's a Bellator True and Blue. I mean, if you're Bellator, you kind of want Nemkov to win this, right? Or do you want somebody else outside of him to win it?
And he has a high.
He's a chance, yeah.
Probability that he's going to win it. He has already defeated Ryan Bader, who I think Ryan Bader is the favorite on the other side. Even though don't sleep on Corey Anderson, because he looked. I mean, I wish we saw more of him, but he just destroyed his competition the way he should have, and so we didn't get to see too much of Corey Anderson. But I think Bader's was the favorite on that side. And the champions already beat him easily. Yeah,
I think only hiccup so far was Yoel Romero getting not being allowed to compete. But I think Rumble made up for it in his performance, his knockout. Yeah. He looked good with Nemkov here. I think so far it's been pretty good. The Grand Prix.
Oh yeah. The Phil Davis fight was good too. I thought Phil was gonna have it.
Yeah,
I would have loved to see Phil Davis versus Rampage. Why do I keep saying Rampage? Rumble Johnson.
The only thing I don't like though is that the champions are in these Grand Prix. I always like that. You like that?
I like that just because it's like if you are a champion, you gotta be in the tournament too. And I like the idea that the champion can lose his belt during the tournament and then just keeps. I mean, you can literally have 3 different champions in the tournament.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. If you sell it that way, that's a good way to sell it. Also on this past weekend, Michael Venom Page super kicks.
Oh.
Somebody.
Oh, did I have that up? Let me.
It's on their Twitter page if you kind of go it to see his opponent's nose, man.
Dude, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro.
That's what happens,
bro,
to Mr. Anderson. Super kick his nose in. But again, Anderson's this is the first time he's finished in his career. Michael Venom Page again, kind of like the whole, if you fight somebody really, really good, we don't know where you're at. But, dude, if he does that for the rest of his career, you fight him guys who are maybe just below his level, sign me up.
Oh,
every time he fights, sign me up. Yeah. If he does something cool like that, I'm cool with it, man. I don't need to see him in the UFC and say, oh, see, he was really nothing. No, I want to see cool stuff like that, man.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Uriah Hall, I thought his career was going to be like this. I think if you, as long as he stayed out of the top 10, I thought he was going to have vicious finishes just like Michael Venom Page has been doing. But, dude, just his, like you said, it's just mind-blowing, all his finishes. Like, yeah, I get it. They're not against top contenders, but you come on, bro. You want to be entertained. You are entertained. Maybe they fed him to the wolves too much because he literally went to the champion.
Yeah.
And Paul Daly was I wouldn't consider him the cream of the crop at the time when they fought. So it's a very unique position to be MVP, I think.
Yeah, I almost think he doesn't even need a belt around his waist.
No, yeah, I mean,
if you're Scott Coker, dude, you know we
beat him whoever you want.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys just right below you.
Go through the whole lineup, and then after he gets like 5 deadly finishes, then they can run it back with
then maybe we'll give you a title shot every once in a while. But dude, a special attraction MVP. So I like it, dude. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
True.
That's it for round number 3. We're gonna take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds. We got 2 previews. We got a pretty big weekend ahead of us for MMA and professional wrestling fans. So don't go anywhere. It's coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 4. Here we're our first of 2 preview rounds. UFC 262, WrestleMania Backlash. This weekend, great weekend for wrestling fans, great weekend for MMA fans, and I always say thankful we're fans of both because my weekend is now officially booked here.
I love it. I love it when it falls this way.
UFC 262 Oliveira versus Chandler, Saturday, May 16th at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. I think there's gonna be max capacity. I think again. This was the card where Nate Diaz was supposed to fight Leon Edwards in a 5-round bout, but Diaz has suffered a minor injury, and that got pushed to UFC 263 next month in June.
Oh, but now that card, ooh.
Yeah, two title fights, and now that Nate Diaz returned.
Please best believe I'm gonna put that on my calendar. Can we just like look at it real quick?
Yeah.
We got my boy Izzy. I don't care if he's fighting a tomato can. I'm still watching it. I'm not calling the contender tomato can.
Vittori, you're not calling Vittori tomato can.
Yeah. I'm saying if he were just a fight.
Yeah.
And then, oh, man.
Rematch
Woo!
of fight of the year last year.
I lost my voice on the last fight.
Of Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo.
Dude, I don't even think I'm going to make it to the Izzy fight. This one's going to blow my mind, bro.
Yeah,
I have so much high expectations. If this is a quick finish, I'm going to cry. Because I have such high...
You want it to go 25 minutes?
And
It's a flyweight championship bout. Davison Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno.
Edwards and Diaz, come on.
That's pretty
even
stacked.
my boy Maya's in it, bro.
David Maya. Stacked.
What a stack card this is. Anyways.
So UFC 262... main event, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. This is for the lightweight title. No longer the interim. Khabib is gone. Officially retired. Don't even think about me. Don't even say my name anymore. Winner here is a new lightweight champion. So winner here, we talked about it again. McGregor sweepstakes, right? Gets the winner of McGregor versus...
What as long as Conor gets through Dustin Poirier, I think that's what it is. If Dustin wins, it's hard not to throw Dustin in here too. And who gets the short end of the stick? Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. How is Michael Chandler ranked 4th already after one fight in the division? I was a Michael Chandler mark in Bellator. But I don't think one fight in and after ducking Tony Ferguson, you get this much respect, bro. I don't like the respect he's been given and the disrespect for Tony Ferguson. That's my main issue here.
And then not to disrespect Dan Hooker.
Yeah, number 4.
His win comes to Dan Hooker, and then you kind of launched it.
Come on, bro.
I mean, you had El Cucuy needed a crack at that. Come on now.
For that reason alone, I'm going with Charles Oliveira all the way. I think it's time to shine.
No way. I think Michael Bisping, even though Charles Oliveira is on a rocket ship, I think Michael Chandler's rocket ship is just a little bit bigger.
There's an American flag strapped to it. Is that why?
Yeah. Just because if you were to go back in some of the fights, if you go to the Kevin Lee fight, I felt Kevin Lee standing up was very successful against Charles Oliveira until he got a little bit tired out and went for that horrendous takedown that cost him the fight. I don't think Michael Chandler does that. Does the same error. So we've seen Charles Oliveira kind of struggle a little bit in the stand-up, which I think Michael Bisping. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me today?
He's even American, bro.
Michael Chandler is going to exploit.
Okay.
And I honestly think Michael Chandler's wrestling is so slick and so good that even though Charles Oliveira is probably the cream of the crop in jiu-jitsu and MMA, I think he's going to be able to neutralize that. So I got Michael Chandler winning and at a TKO finish. To be honest,
Ground and pound or something like that.
Yeah, the only way I see Michael Chandler losing is if he slips up when they're on the ground and Charles Oliveira just takes off his head or puts him in a crazy submission.
I hope you're wrong. Co-main event: Tony Ferguson,
Woo!
Benel Darnoush. This is a really good test for Tony Ferguson to
honestly,
prove.
This is it. This is it right here. I think if Tony loses, God forbid he doesn't, because I will cry all night long.
Yeah, me too.
If Tony loses, I think it's time to do that hard look in the mirror and maybe you call it quits, bro.
And that's not saying anything against Darnoush.
No. It's just I think we've seen the best of Tony already, and the point of the game is to get the belt, right?
Yep.
I think he'll be too far off that he would have to go to another gauntlet just to even be considered a contender now. But if he gets the win, and if he does it in a spectacular fashion, I think he puts himself back in there. We might see him running back with Justin Gaethje, which I want to see that run back again. I think my boy Tony Ferguson finishes Justin Gaethje on the rematch. He had him hurt after that round, and I thought he had it.
I agree. This is like everything. This fight means everything to me.
Yeah.
As a Tony Ferguson mark since day one, since Ultimate Fighter, you can't. I have to, man. Like,
there's a handful of fighters I'm too invested in, and Tony's one of them. And I'm telling you, like, as a fan, I can feel my blood pressure rising when they fight. Do my palms get sweaty? Do I feel like I'm in there? Do I feel every punch, every kick?
Yeah. And again, Darnoush. He's only reason why he's ranked number 9 in the lightweight division is because it's so stacked. Because you have guys like Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, and Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje right in front of you. Only reason why he's ranked number 9. Dude is super talented, and in the deepest division in the UFC. Like, I don't know why is Paul Felder even top 10, but still. I mean, that division is so stacked.
Yeah, and you still got Rafael Dos Anjos still in there.
And they give McGregor still just have a number by his name, huh?
Number 6.
But it's definitely, again, if Ferguson cannot get past Darnoush, then he's obviously out of the top 10 for sure. Or I don't know, maybe give him Paul Felder just for the rightful number 10. But yeah, UFC 262 this Saturday. Crowds intense again, so maybe they'll be different. Maybe El Cucuy needs some crowds, man. Houston, Texas.
That's what he does feed off with.
Hispanic market
Ooh.
largely, so hopefully get some of that juices going for El Cucuy and we see the return back. That's it for round number 4. We got one more round coming up. We're gonna take a preview look at UFC, WWE Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash, and more focusing. We'll talk about their booking lately. So don't go. That's coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for the 5th and final round. We're going to take a look at WrestleMania Backlash taking place this Sunday, May 16th on the WWE Network / Peacock in the United States. Could happen in the Thunderdome. I think they're trying to save all the big-time cards for crowds, but this is a Thunderdome exclusive.
Uh-huh.
WrestleMania Backlash, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. They're going to throw in Braun Strowman in there just to make it a little different. We got Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. They're going to throw in Shaw in there just to be a little different.
I mean, but at least that one makes more sense than just throwing Braun in there for the main event.
Why is it like the fresh new matchups are actually on SmackDown? You got Bayley versus Bianca Belair.
Which I'm excited about.
And you got Cesaro versus the big dog, Roman Reigns.
Also excited about.
Do you see the line here between Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah.
And then how Daniel Bryan has a kind of an input on SmackDown and he doesn't have it on Raw, where Raw is a legit rehash of WrestleMania.
Yeah. And then you got fresh
SmackDown,
matchups on the other side.
Yeah.
See, but I'm not mad at the women's one because that would make sense because it was Charlotte's moment.
Yeah.
And so it story-wise, it makes sense. And also, I think adding Charlotte into the match, it's just going to elevate it even more. So that one, to me, I'm not too mad about. I'm actually excited for that match. It's this damn Strowman one that irritates me. Either Strowman versus Bobby or run it back with Bobby versus Drew. Why would you do a 3? That's... Oh my.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use the S word with Braun Strowman in it. But come on.
It's stupid.
But come on, WWE.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't think this is going to be...
What's up with that?
It's going to be a very good match at all. It's 3 big guys.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, if that is the last match in the main event,
I hope it's not.
I might end my night early.
I hope it's not. It has to be the big dog versus the Swiss Superman.
Which I am excited about.
Oh, dude, yeah, man.
Cesaro's killing it right now.
Roman Reigns is killing it right now.
As hard as it is to me to admit, Roman Reigns is just killing it right now.
The big dog got the heat. He put Daniel Bryan in retirement. And then I don't want to see you on SmackDown anymore, Daniel Bryan.
And then, of course, you got Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. So
Bayley. Dude, you're on one today, man.
All over the place today. We saw the Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair match in WrestleMania. Awesome match. The only way you can top that is against Bayley. So I think this is a perfect setup from what we saw in WrestleMania. If Bianca Belair is the new face of the women's division, you got to go through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
You went through Sasha Banks.
Took the word
Bayley's next. And then you got plenty of other stacked girls right after that. But let's start from the top.
Yeah.
Sasha and then Bayley. I love it.
I like you. You can kind of see they're really kind of establishing her title reign with Sasha and then Bayley.
And legit.
Yeah. And then after this, you probably kind of throw in like a Carmella just to kind of keep it like fluffy. And then you get another hardcore title shot, like maybe around SummerSlam. Then like another fluff piece. And then another hardcore one for like Survivor Series Royal Rumble.
I like that too. I was going to say, I don't even mind them running back Sasha Banks, a couple events in the future, just because I know they can still have an amazing match. So I'm super excited for Bianca Belair's reign. I think we talked about it at the WrestleMania show how there's just nothing but matchups for her.
Yeah,
it's just crazy how much. It's funny because the only other time I can think of this is when Kurt Angle had his hot run. I was dying to see Kurt Angle against anybody.
Yeah.
Like when he went against Chris Benoit was amazing.
Jericho.
When he went against Jericho was amazing. When he did the Brock Lesnar was amazing. And there was just so much. I mean, The Rock, he went with The Rock against The Rock. I mean, there's so much good matchups for Kurt Angle when he went on that hot streak.
His first year.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. And I feel like the same way like Bianca Belair. Literally, there's so much good matchups that there is for her to have. They're all gold.
Real quick, before we end, I want to focus on the Roman Reigns versus Cesaro matchup. Mostly because we talked about Cesaro's kind of spot in WWE, right? Everybody who knows professional wrestling at a deeper level than just what the WWE surface offers, right? We know how talented this dude is, Cesaro. Ridiculous. Some of the best matches we've ever seen in the Indies. He had great matches in NXT. Whenever he's in there, it's going to be
wrestling wise. He's probably there with Kenny or better.
Right. He's never really gotten a good kind of groove in things. Injuries sometimes too has kind of hindered his development. But since he got onto SmackDown and then Daniel Bryan, who's known this guy for years, like this guy's talented, he should be at the top, right? The big test was at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins put him over clean. It was a great match. He could hang. Obviously, we know he could hang.
We knew that was going to be a heck of a match.
It's just his character-wise, right?
Yeah.
Do you see him in the big picture things? He's not going to beat Roman Reigns for sure. I don't think so.
No, but
after this, is he done now? Do we not see him, or does he stay up there?
I'm hoping. I know Roman has to win, but I'm hoping he takes Roman to the limits. Like if they do a match where like literally Roman just barely with the scrape of his teeth he wins the match is a perfect way to set up and I feel like there's a lot of fuel here because remember if you flashback, Cesaro was supposed to be the next Paul Heyman guy, and they kind of like just buried that and forgot about it.
It was too close to Brock.
Yeah, and now that Roman Reigns is a Paul Heyman guy, it's a perfect feud to go on. But you have to throw in something else with Cesaro to keep him elevated. I don't think his promos have convinced me that he's championship material, and I think that's the only little thing missing here to continue the story.
Well, right now it's the whole Daniel Bryan's my friend. He came out when Roman Reigns attacked him with the chair. They tied him down.
Daniel Bryan
he's gone.
Leaves TV. That's what I'm saying. Like there has to be. Cesaro's still missing something.
That's what I'm thinking. It's something,
to keep him up there in that level. But I hope this match goes to the limits and we keep Cesaro on top.
Yeah, I'm just so worried that after this, Roman Reigns beats him clean, and then Cesaro's back to.
That's the worst.
I hope it is because this dude's super talented, man. He deserves to be a perennial contender where he's always a threat for the title or always in the big picture stuff because he deserves it. He's one of the. I can't believe I said deserve it. I'm a mark.
You mark.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
This is a storyline, right?
Yeah, that's a storyline, but still.
this is predetermined, right?
He deserves it, right? He deserves it. So I guess, yeah, I'm not really too excited about the Raw matches. Super excited about the SmackDown match, especially this one here. I'm watching for Roman Reigns versus Cesaro because I think one-on-one, give him the time they can do it. Again, the big dog getting the respect he deserves, the respect he's gonna be given to everybody. So, given by everybody. So that's it for this week's show. I want to thank you all for tuning in. WrestleMania Backlash Sunday, May 16th. UFC 262 Saturday, May 15th. Weekend plans are here. They are. Find me. I'll be doing this. That's it for everybody. I want to thank you for tuning in here. Whether you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, comment on our photos. Our videos.
And our photos.
Yeah, and our photos too. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at FiveRoundMMA. It's FIVE I want to thank you all for your continued support and watching in, listening in, wherever you find us. We're all Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, anywhere you get your audio podcasts, we are available there. Albert, what do you got?
Just shout out to my boy Canelo, dog. Woo! We don't talk about it because we don't understand that the sweet science of boxing, and we don't do it justice at all. But man, Canelo, that's how you celebrate Cinco de Mayo, dog. Woo!
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in.